I'm not trying to rub it in. The F chord, though, is one of those key things that's going to lead us to the promised land of being able to play a lot of stuff on the guitar that's all around the place. You know, this bar chord shape. Pretty important, and a lot of people that I know find this a particular hurdle when they're playing guitar, especially acoustically, because, you know, F starts to come in songs from the Beatles, and it's just one of those chords where, along with B flat, are not particularly fun to play. I'm going to run you through the 3 versions of playing F from the beginner, intermediate and advanced level, but also perhaps give you some little tips and tricks and exercises to try and help yourself out to get over this hurdle. My advice would be jump in with the hardest version of the F chord, because that's what you're going to have to play eventually. However, I will build you up from the beginning. We're going to look at this F with an E in the top that a lot of people mention. An absolutely fine replacement for the F chord. All you're doing is kind of taking a C shape and taking your 3rd and 2nd fingers and just moving them across one string. The 1st finger stays in the same place. So from there to here. I can call that level 1 of progressing to the F chord, because it's probably the easiest way of tackling this one. So if you're playing, you know, Beatles, it's an okay way of bridging that gap. The next version we do is we take the F chord that we talked about just now, with that E in the top, and we flatten out that 1st finger. To fill out that E and change it into an F note there at the top. Now there are 2 ways of playing it. You can either try and squish it just to play the top 2 strings, or you can have a halfway house where you actually let it sit a little bit further down the strings. Might give you a little bit more grip there. And this is the next version of the F chord, this sort of intermediate level. So a little bit more difficult. Then of course we have the beast, the F shape. Now this one is quite difficult, firstly because the lower you are on the guitar with the pressing of your 1st finger, almost the harder it feels. I bet you if you took that shape there and moved it up to the 5th fret, you'd find it a lot easier. That's just the hardest one to get right, because it involves a little bit more pressure. So the first thing that you can do to help yourself out, take that 1st finger and look at the shape of it and see if there's any obvious sort of divots that you have in your finger. A lot of people think, I just can't play this chord and my finger wasn't designed for it. Now there are different approaches, but some people play their bars with their finger much higher up. You see the kind of sticking out the end of the guitar, and some people stick really close. That's because the way their finger is shaped means that they have to find that sweet spot, particularly to play these top 2 notes. So it could be that your finger doesn't play them very nicely here, but if you move it up a bit, you would find it easier. There's also another tip which I say to people, which is you can roll the finger backwards a bit. So instead of it being so flat, you can roll it back a little bit. That might give you just a little bit more bite. Also make sure you're right up against the metal section of the fret. Not on top. It's going to be a dead sound rather than being just behind it, the sweet spot. The lower you get, it's going to start sounding really, really bad. So get yourself in that sweet spot. Make sure the 2nd finger has a nice arch in it, because if it squashes down like this, you're going to start to catch some of those higher strings, so that has to have a kind of McDonald's M arch in. Try this exercise. So 1st finger down, See, look, the last one I didn't get in the right place. See, even I can get it wrong, not being in the sweet spot. Once you've tried all those things, keep going round and round. A little bit of practice here and there makes perfect, and you will be able to achieve your F chord, and that means you can move away from being stuck in root positions. And try and open up your guitar game. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have any tips for the F chord, let us know down there as well. Happy practicing, and we'll see you next time.